morning, JSerra. My name's Tiffany Nolet.
And I'm Alec Kinamui. Welcome to the Lying Report. During today's show, we'd like to dedicate the entire broadcast to those whom lost their lives during the tragedy that was 9/11. And now we'd like to take a moment of silence.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. The victims were in airplanes or in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. And I pray they will be comforted by a power greater than any of us, spoken through the ages in Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. This is a day when all Americans from every walk of life unite in our resolve for justice and peace. America has stood down enemies before, and we will do so this time.
And now let's reflect upon those who lost their lives and/or were directly affected by this tragic event.
9/11 was a tragic event. Although it was horrific, many heroes were made that day. Countless lives were saved through the courage of everyday people.
Timothy Stockpole was one of the hundreds of firefighters that responded to the call that day. Stockpole was among the first to get to ground zero. He sacrificed his life rescuing those trapped in the blazing inferno.
Todd Beamer, a passenger aboard United Airlines Flight 93, rose above fear to combat terrorists piloting the plane. Beamer, along with other passengers, rallied together and stormed the cockpit. Unfortunately, Beamer, along with all of Flight 93, perished as they lost control of the plane. This man personifies courage and hope in the heart of darkness. A high school as well as a post office in Cranberry, New Jersey were named in his honor.
After the Twin Towers were hit, many horrific events took place. Although much was lost on September 11th, much was gained. People became heroes, communities bound together, national pride prevailed stronger, and families grew closer. Horrible events gave people the chance to become heroes and rise up, showing love and human compassion.
Alec, do you remember where you were on 9/11?
Yeah, actually I do. I was sitting in my living room watching it all unfold on the news.
Let's go see where the teachers were.
I was in my freshman English class, and the teacher turned on the TV to show us the news that was happening that day. It was amazing.
Well, I remember the night before I had just graduated college, and I remember that I had gone back down to my friend's house and visited some friends that were still in college. And I remember waking up on the couch and the news was on, and my friends ran out and they said, look what's on the news. And nobody could believe it. I woke up and there was planes crashing, and we watched that for a while, and people just couldn't believe it. It was like a bad nightmare. It just didn't feel real at all. So.
When I was in New York last spring, I met a guy on the subway who was Bolivian, and he agreed to walk, he spoke English and Spanish, and he agreed to walk me through his neighborhood to find our hotel because we were kind of lost, my son and I. And it was kind of a sketchy looking neighborhood, but he actually volunteered. He's like, since 9/11, there's less violence, there's more camaraderie, more people seem to be looking out for each other. So, don't worry about walking through this neighborhood, you should be fine. So, that was kind of encouraging. It was a terrible tragedy what happened, but I like to look for the good that comes out sometimes, even out of a hard thing. So he said New York was a safer place after that.
9/11 has affected the U.S. in many ways. It's tightened security, but mostly in a positive way. Amidst the darkness that came about of 9/11, people really united in their faith and really turned to God just for consolation and for peace and for hope amidst of what happened. So if anything, I think it really unified our country and really brought everyone together and allowed people to really turn to God in the really dark time that 9/11 gave us in our country.
In general announcements, here at JSerra, we are accepting donations for Christians who are in Iraq right now up until the end of next week.
In homecoming news, don't forget to nominate your friends today during both lunches for homecoming court. In international department news, there will be a meeting today for line ambassadors and new and current international students from 3 to 4. Please be prompt and get there quickly. Attendance will be taken.
Attention juniors and seniors, if you're looking to join CSF and receive mostly A's or B's on your last semester report card, you can fill out an application and apply online.
In counseling news, Grand Canyon University will be here tomorrow at 8:30, so make sure you get teachers' approval before you go to the visit.
In sports news, our girls varsity tennis team recently defeated Sage, and they will be playing Tribuco Hills today, so come and support everybody. Thanks for watching The Line Report. I'm Alec Kanamui.
And I'm Tiffany Nolet.
Have a great day, JSerra.